Do you love me? Cause I wanna be your lover and your homie. I need to know. Cause I want you. And I wanna be the one that you on to. Like, just toss it right back.
So, are we sparing feelings, sparing time, or sparing peace of mind when we purposely avoid topics with our partner? What makes conversations with our partner about our traits, likes, and dislikes uncomfortable? Let's listen to Amani Matthews and Bennie, aka Poeticlee Williams, discuss their experiences and how they're trying to develop better communication skills with their partners.
Okay, so my first thing, do you really feel like you have communication mastered?
No.
And why?
No.
Why not?
I don't.
What are you still lacking at?
I feel like everyone is entitled to keep certain things to themselves, regardless of the situation. So, sometimes you just want something for yourself, and that's okay. Mm-hmm. As long as that something is not, detrimental to yourself or to that, other person in y'all relationship. If it's not, that's your business. Okay, if you want to share it, cool. If you don't, you don't. I mean, I just feel like there's certain things that if you want to keep for yourself, and they're not, doesn't happen.
Lacking. I don't know what you just said.
Listen, I'm trying to get to that point. Can I get to that point? Let me talk it out.
That's what people do when they're trying to like just sweeten up with their like, what I feel like people.
Okay.
I'm talking about
had to set the framework of what I was saying. How I think I don't have communication mastered is just like sometimes is that thing that I want to keep to myself. Should I really keep it to myself?
Okay.
Or should I express that with my partner?
Yeah.
Or in another, realm of communicating, if something, I don't know, not necessarily bothers me, but it's just like, okay, you did that, but it's not really a big deal. Like, do I bring that up or do I just let it slide? Because I never want to be like nitpicking.
But how did it what's the level? Or how does it affect you?
And the thing is, it's a very minuscule level. It's like down here, but it's just like,
yeah, bro, like that's what I'll be running into. Why? Like, what is the why? But but I guess I get it. There are some little things that every now and then it's like,
just but little things like, and then I just shrug and be like, yo, it's whatever. Because in the grand scheme of things, it's not going to continue to bother me. If it's something that's going to continue to bother me, then it's just like, all right. I need to say something about it. But if it's not something that's going to bother me, let's say, I don't know, it's some kind of weird habit that someone has, but it's unique to them. It's kind of weird to me. I may not like it, but I'm just like, am I going to bring it up, nitpick this weird habit that they have? They've been doing it their whole life. It's not detrimental to myself, them, just because I don't like it. I'm gonna get over it. I'm be like, you know what? That's unique to that person, especially in a relationship. If that's your partner, be like, yo, that's part of my partner. That is part of the person that I love. And if it's something so small, why am I gonna nitpick about it? I'm gonna get over it.
What term is how small it is? Because I hear what you're saying, but it's
let's for example. I'm not saying that my partner does this, but this is just something I don't particularly like that people do, but I get over it because I'm like, whatever, it's your life. Like when people like scratch their throat, and I can hear it, I don't like hearing it.
You don't like the asthma?
My mama used to do it. Used to do it bad because she's allergic to cats, and I had a cat at that time. And she used to just do it all the time. And I think that's where it comes from, because I was just like, I don't like that sound. But if someone does it, I'm just like,
I feel you.
So that's what I mean. It's like something small. Like
it is one of those things you gotta like learn how to kind of like, is there a way you can compromise, I guess, sometimes on it? Because I've been in relationships where, like, for example, just past relationships where I may have been with the girl and she may have wanted like smoke in the room. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like thing where smoking in my bedroom is like that's kind of like triggering because I grew up in smoking, like your parents smoking. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I don't want to smell smoke in the crib. But then it's like it's like you got to know how to deliver that. You know what I'm saying? Because I know I have a face on my face that'll let you know that this ain't the place. You know what I'm saying? Like my face, I can't help it. Sometimes your face speaks up for you before your words. It's like, damn, my face already. All right, now I got to follow through with the words. I got to just follow through.
Yeah, because they gonna be like, well, what's wrong?
And it's like, all right, well, here, this is what's wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I mean.
And what kind of smoking are we talking about?
I mean, not cigarettes.
Oh, so you don't like I guess what ganja smoking in the bedroom?
I mean, yeah, at that time I did.
Okay, at that time in your life. Okay.
Yeah, at that time it was triggering. Now it's like, you know what I'm saying, we in the room. You know what I'm saying?
We in the room together in the smoke.
Exactly. As long as we gotta have some air breeze. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna be.
We have to have like a circulation.
Yeah. Get the humidifier.
Right. So a fan, you know, to crack a window, something. Hot box the bedroom.
At that time it was very triggering, and I was like, nah. But I feel you about the little habits. I feel you. All right. So let me ask you this. Do you sometimes bring up someone else's like issue that someone else is going through to kind of like send a passive way of saying, hey, I had to say, you know, so you know, saying like kind of like slide in your passive way of feeling the same way?
It's kind of like the thing asking for a friend, but you the friend. You bringing up you bringing up your friend, but it's actually you.
You yourself the friend.
Exactly. You bringing up your friend, but it's you.
Yeah.
No, I don't do that.
It's like I'm asking for a friend. Like people still do that. It's like that way start. No, no one out here say I'm asking for a friend. If you come to me,
they might be like sarcastic, but people say it. But it's just like that's how I think of it. It's like you bring up a story about your friend. It could possibly be true, right? It could be possibly true that your friend is going through this particular situation. But you also going through this particular situation, but it's more so for you than your friend.
So are we when that happens, because I don't necessarily, I'm trying to just be clear. Let me see if I do that in some way, form, or fashion. Yeah, I think I have done it in the sense, not that I'm asking for a friend, but I think I may have been, you know, because the way I'm going to do it is going to be like, hey, so-and-so may be doing this. What's your thoughts on that too? You know what I'm saying? Like,
true. Okay.
How you trying to like, they going, you know what I'm saying? They doing this. How you trying to get busy like this too? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, like what is their perspective on what someone else is doing? Yeah, I feel that. I think I have done that, but it's never been like I'm bringing up this friend, you know, this situation as in, you know, you should change what you're doing. More so, I just want to get where your mind at with this situation. Like, I just want to know your thoughts.
You know what? That is a thing women would do. That is what I would do. I would ask us a question, really, just to see how we're gonna play. What kind of play we're gonna make on that question. It's not to kind of get a gauge. It's a little gauge I do.
It's a gauge. It's definitely a gauge to see, like, all right, where is this person's head at? Yeah. However, as I've gotten older, I just kind of stray away from that.
I mean, and not need the gauge though. Sometimes you
but I would be more direct in my gauge. Like I'm literally asking you, you know, this and such and such happened. How do you feel about it? It's not like I'm trying to passively bring it up. Like, oh, my friend went through this situation, and what's your thoughts? I'm going to ask the same question, but it's going to be more direct.
Okay. I guess sometimes we get in these positions because we're trying to spare feelings. It's like you trying to spare feelings, you're trying to spare time, or you just trying to spare your peace of mind.
I feel like it's more so for me, if I was doing that still, it was more so me trying to spare my peace of mind. Not necessarily the other person's feeling, but when you do it passively like that through a friend, you don't really have to say or show or express how you feel about it. Because it's not you, it's your friend. You can still gauge where the other person's at, right? Yeah. But you don't have to say, well, this is how I feel about it. Unless they ask you, and then you know.
Really how I mess myself up. I'm the king of messing myself up in conversation. Oh boy, oh man, I found a good way. I found a new way to mess myself up in conversation. Because you know what it is? I think that what I'm saying is that I'm giving you the answer that like the honest answer. However, I forget that we live in this world where that honest answer isn't like you don't want the truth. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people just don't want the truth. That's been the story of my life. So like,
yeah,
you got to know how to gauge. You got to know how your response is too, because when sometimes we get comfortable in those conversations too. Because if we with our partner and then we get into a conversation that we think is going to be difficult, and then the conversation start actually going smooth, then you start sitting back. Oh yeah, start really getting in your bag. Hell no.
And then you just say one thing, and your partner like, what?
Get comfortable.
You getting comfortable. I feel like, okay, I feel like you should be able to be comfortable. And if you do say, I guess, some sideways shit or some shit that don't sit well with your partner, y'all should be, I guess, mature enough to be like, I get this conversation. I'm cool with the conversation. But that part that you said right there, that just don't sit well with me.
Hey, brother. Whatever good brother needs to hear this, you better know once you go into that water, whatever you say and do now can be and will be used against you.
Listen,
once you go in that water, you got to know what conversations you're going into, and you got to know how to play it. That's why I think Obama is great right there, because the way that he speaks lets you know he done been in some battles with Michelle where he had to think about that shit, because hell no, ain't no way he gonna be president and not know. He's gone through battles with Michelle. That's I'm sorry, that's more. Forget America. Battles with Michelle. That's the book right there. When that book come out, that's gonna be his 444. Battles with Michelle.
Battles with
Michelle gonna come out well. She gonna come out. She gonna try to show positivity and hope. Nah. I want to see when you were beating up. When you was beating up Barack.
Don't do that. Don't do that to Michelle.
Nah, I'm not gonna. No, but it's beautiful. It's beautiful, and I think, and I'm saying I'm making a humor saying that you do want to think about what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? Because
of course.
And you can forget that, hey, we're in this conversation because we're being both vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. And because we're being both vulnerable, which means we're still sensitivities are like here, you know,
they're present.
They're present. So like things that you can say, they're being analyzed, and we're talking about them. However, we're not still totally confident about, because we're just now getting here. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
it's like a new topic, it's just like, how do we, approach this?
How do we really just get a threesome popping? You know what I'm saying? Like how
yo, you be going left. Where did shit be coming from? I was like, wait, what?
Like, how do we, man? Nah,
that's a sensitive. That is a sensitive topic.
Yeah,
and
man.
Especially like if you don't know where your partner's head is, like beforehand, it's just like you going into the dark. But okay, Mom. Sorry, my mama got me something, and she just showed me.
Yo, so I said, "What's good? What's good?"
I'll let her know. She just went back in the house.
Goodies,
but it was goodies. It was this book that I've been wanting for some time, and she got it for me. It's my late birthday present. But it's here. It's okay. I don't care when I get it, as long as I get it. But that topic of bringing up a threesome with your partner, it's just sometimes you just gotta bring it up. Like there's just no, you just gotta be like, okay, so I've been thinking I might want to have a threesome. How you feel about that?
You know what's crazy? That's a great topic right there, because the crazy thing about that is like it is like this it's like these questions, the why, you know what I'm saying? Like we got to get down to the why of things, because there is this sense of we're both adults in this situation, right? And but then there's this other sense of ego, like what's wrong with me? You know what I'm saying? Like
why you would want that,
right? Like what's happening right here? So I think it's like, and then you got to ask yourself, like, it's like just a lot of whys that have to be figured out more than assumptions. Like you really got to have the why. And I think it's like one of those conversations you got to, like, it depends what level y'all on too. Like y'all on the level, like y'all already know off the rip how y'all gonna feel about it. Then it's just go mode from there. Then it's just figuring out how the flow is. But then if it's like a really fresh thing, then yeah, like you gotta have, like, I feel like it's a lot of conversation before a decision, like of understanding the why do you want this? Why is it bringing you, like, what are you looking for? Like how long you been feeling like this? Like it's really like going to, like, you know, man, because hell yeah, that is the ultimate thing. If you had to talk about, like, maybe be uncomfortable, I don't know, it's like in the top.
It might be uncomfortable. I don't think I would be uncomfortable with the topic because I mean, I already know how I feel about it. Yeah. But it's just like
yeah, Mother Monty said, hey, look here.
I mean, okay, but like, cause I've been through that already in my younger years. So I'm just like, I'm at this point, like, I don't really want to do that. I don't. I'm at this point. I'm like, I'm cool. I got a lot of things to think about, and that I don't want to think about that. But it's still that conversation that you do have with your partner if that's something you want to do. And I'm not shaming nobody. I'm not shaming anybody. And also what I've been learning from my studies is actually the question of why. The question of why can come up as an adult as being like judgmental.
Yeah,
right?
Facts, yeah.
It could definitely come up as judgmental. So like in nursing, they teach you, do not ask your patient why. Why did something? You don't frame it like that, because then it's just like, oh, defense mode. They have to come up with some kind of reason or justification of why they did what they did or why something happened.
But
and that might that puts someone on edge. So instead of saying why, we're like, okay, it's really how you frame it. It's really how you try to get the open up. Or it could just be like, okay, well, tell me more about that. Right? Just
tell me more about it. Okay.
Tell me more. Okay. Like, just keep talking instead of asking why. Because then they're just like, oh shit, maybe I didn't think about the why. And then they automatically on the defense. Yeah. Right? And you don't want to bring that defense mechanism up in your partner.
I will say, if this is for my good brothers, he says, tell me more. You ask, how much do you want to know? What level are you at? What level do you want me to take this with? Conversation, whatever it may be. Threesome, it could be whatever. It could be how you feel about how she brushed her teeth. It could be how you feel about how she ain't, you know what I'm saying? It could be whatever. It could be she cooked for you. And it could be like, man, you know what? You just cooked too much, or you cooked the wrong foods, or it could be whatever. It could be, I don't know. I'm just throwing things out in my head. Like, it could be whatever, but you need to ask, like, what level you at, like, because I mean,
full transparency or like
I like that. Do you want full, half,
full,
or like a quarter?
A quarter.
Yeah, you want like a grand?
I feel like especially in a partnership, it should be like the goal should be full disclosure.
Ain't no shit.
Goal. I said the goal over there should be full transparency.
How are you finding ways to work on your like transparency?
It comes in waves, because sometimes I don't have shit to talk about. but like sometimes I don't got anything to say. But like if something comes up for me and I think about it, I feel like, okay, I do want to talk to him about this. Then I'll text him and be like, hey, babe, I got something to talk to you about. You know, later when you're free, call me, whatever. And call me, and then we'll start talking about it. And it's something that I definitely have to work on, to tell myself, hey, tell him you want to talk. And I never try to frame it as negative, like, oh, we need to talk. No. I said, hello, hey babe, how you doing? You know, I got something that I want to talk to you about. Yeah, it's like that. He was like, okay, let's talk later. And then that's it. And then we talk about it. The most, I guess, significant thing that I wanted to talk to him about, I thought about while I was driving one day, was when we first started dating, I had gotten into not one, but 2 car accidents in 1 month. Damn. Right? Yeah. And the first car accident was, I was on the way to go see him. Right. And I was on the way to go meet his friends. And there were certain things that happened. Like, one of the things that happened when I was on the way there, I was at a traffic light and it was just blinking red. Right. Yeah. And I didn't think about these things until after I had the car accident, and like later on the day, that, okay, there was something beforehand telling me not to go. And so, you know, you start getting into your mind and think, you know, especially being a more conscious and spiritual person, you look at things that happen around you, be like, things happen, and most times there's a message in it. I'm like, what's the message? I'm like, yo, it's like the universe telling me not to, you know, date this dude, not to go forward. And then maybe 2 or 3 weeks later, I actually got my car back, and I got, you know, in another accident, I got rear-ended, but it had nothing to do with him. So I was like, I wasn't talking to him. I wasn't on the way to him, nothing. I was just like, all right, this might be something else. Yeah. Right?
Trying to put it on my man. Look, we not in our own business trying to be young, great kings. We just trying to do our thing out here and just trying to rise amongst the hate. And still yet, our queens will have a car accident and say, you know what? It was him. Damn, brother. I tell you, man, it's hard. Man. It's hard. It's hard. That's the point I got out of that story, is that you still found out. You still found someone. You still found a way to put it on them.
But that don't put it like that, because that also goes back to the discussion we was having last week, was like, you know, learning again to trust myself. Okay. And that came into it, trusting myself, that I chose, that I'm choosing him as a partner, and that's a good decision for me.
Stop. See, I see how you flip that. I see how you flip that. I see the duality in you. One side was like, you know what? Don't go forward with this dude. Then the other side was like, nah, listen, sis, you gotta slow down, stop, and understand. This is he A1 right here.
Okay. And he is. And so here we are. But that was something I didn't tell him initially, wasn't when it was going on. But later I was driving and I happened to think about it. I'm like, okay, this is something I want to discuss with him.
Did you not tell him, because what did you feel would be?
First of all, we were like dating. We weren't in a relationship just yet. We weren't in a partnership yet. We were getting close to, you know, the relationship, but we were still in, you know, the beginning dating stage. So I was just like, and it goes back to some of those things. Like, that thing was for me. Yeah. That I wanted to keep to myself. And then, you know, later on, like, what was I going to do? I was going to tell him, like, what? Like, what? I was like, nah, I need to think about this.
That is a good point, because sometimes we may have visions, and it may not. We may think we know what the vision is, but it could be totally something else. And we may speak up too early and be like, tell our partner, like, dang, I had this vision. You was cheating on me. And you know what I'm saying? It could have been something totally something else that you could have been insecure about, and just kind of making your brain kind of making you think that, but that's really your fear.
Yeah. And you know what was so, like, I experienced that in my previous relationship. It was that my ex, he would tell me, he was like, oh, I had a dream that you did such and such with such and such. And I'm like, oh, okay. But then ended up months later down the road that he was the one unfaithful.
Yeah.
Like, so I was just like, your dreams telling you about you, telling you about yourself, about your insecurities.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, but yeah, like certain things I kept that to myself because I was just like, I don't know. And I didn't want to jump the gun and be like, I'm done. Like, I got in this car accident when I was on the way to you. I'm done. Like, I didn't want to, I'm just like, all right, relax. Look at everything what's going on, journal, pray about it, meditate about it. And then it kind of, when I got into the second car accident, it kind of just made me feel not.
Really woke you up.
Huh?
Really
it woke me up, but it woke me up in a sense that I'm like, yo, damn, does somebody like want something bad to happen to me? And it wasn't connected to him. So I'm just like, I was like, but I'm protected though, because I left both of those car accidents completely intact, safe, not a scratch, nothing. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, my car was messed up, but I was good. So I was just like, nah, I'm protected. I'm divinely protected and provided for. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was something that I wanted to talk to him about, and I just told him, I said, hey, like I wanna talk to you about this, and we did. And it was a great conversation. But that's something that I do work on actively, saying if things come up and I'm like,
go ahead and say it.
Yeah, like, hey, babe, I want to talk. I might not say it right then and there, but I'd be like, babe, I want to talk to you, or I just bring it up later at another time, because we busy. I'm in school, he work,
people.
What did you say?
No, I just set up a meeting.
Oh yeah. Fact, straight like that.
A lunch date.
Lunch date, coffee. Go for a walk with your partner, like.
Yeah, definitely get out in nature. Yeah. That is love right there. Getting out in nature with your boo and going for a good walk. That is some old head type shit, but I love it. I love it.
And it's actually like, I remember in college, I was in a finance class, and he was saying, the professor was saying, if you want to have a conversation with your partner about money, go for a walk and have that conversation.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, you can get hot, but it's just like you outside and you kind of already burning off that energy, and then, you're adding endorphins. So it calms down the situation instead of you sitting there beefing with your partner about finances. Right?
Yeah, I think if you're going to have a conversation about anything that you feel like is going to be taxing, have a walk. I feel like that's
because it releases, that stress, the anxiety, that tension. Because you have somewhere to put it. True. You have somewhere to actively put that energy. True. So it makes it easier for you to just talk.
Hell yeah. All right. So going for a walk, what are some other ways that you could set up a good conversation? By a good conversation, like, I mean, it's obviously you want to pick a good time. You got to pick a good time. Like, I feel like
timing is essential.
Well, I would screw up a conversation by just sometimes I'll do the thing of where I want to talk about it, but then it's like, this ain't the right time. Then I'm thinking about it later, and I'm like, all right, I got to get this out because I don't feel like I'm gonna have a good time. Then you just try to squeeze it in, but then you don't have much time, and then it becomes being one of those long ass conversations that's like, fuck, can't cut this off right here.
Yeah.
And time is key.
Time is essential, and sometimes you just have to make time.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah, you got
it. And it's hard because as adults we got life going on. I have a child, so I'd be like, listen, all right, little munchkin, go to sleep. After you go to sleep, we have this conversation because it's just like, this is something that we do need to talk about. And if it's like something that's really pressing, like on me, mentally and emotionally, I'll just, write about it. So I can move that energy. So it's not just sitting with me, and then I can't really focus and I got things to do. So I just, I just write it down and get that energy right there. But it's still like, and also you can reference back to it. So how you was feeling in the exact moment. And so you can talk to your partner about that.
That's real. I like that. I like the writing down part. You come through with the journaling. That is key. And I'm a writer. I should do more of that. I don't know why I don't. I just sometimes I'll be like, I don't even want to address it. You know what I'm saying? But you don't.
That's true. Sometimes you just don't even want to do it. You just be like, Oh no, man.
Yeah, but and the issue too for men too, because we internalize. That's why we die younger in the relationship. I mean, not to make it sound morbid, but just like it's we internalize and it creates a high blood. You know, your heart just high blood pressure. Just it gets your heart beating faster. You know what I'm saying? It gets you anxiety. Yeah,
because of stress, and all of those are literally a direct, consequence of stress and the release of cortisol in your body. And that's even for me, because I be stressing. Okay. Yeah. And then I got to do my affirmations. I got to do my breathing exercises. I got to do my yoga. Sometimes if I'm pissed, like I'm just hot, stressed up here, I got to work out and I got to do some I got to do some intense stuff to just get that energy out. But that is such an effect on our physical health, our mental health. So yeah, it's like if our men are stressing out, it's mental, and then it goes right to your physical. All of this is connected.
Yeah. And we gotta take time. Because we gotta take time to see each other. You know what I mean? Like if you with your partner, you all live together or not, especially if y'all live together, it's so easy to get caught up in your own daily life. I know that was you get so easy to get caught up in your own and then your own thoughts or anxieties about whatever you're trying to put together that you just miss seeing. Really just seeing the beauty in your partner or seeing what they're even going through, seeing their bodily expressions, their physical movements, how they're even moving, and the energies are being avoided. And so then it just gets like that you gotta, like, I love what you said, take time, because if you working on having a healthy relationship, you gotta put the work into it. Like
work, and the work takes time.
Hell yeah shit. So take some time, you know what I'm saying, get the vibe, play some good music. So if you about to say whatever you got to say, go for a walk, whatever. Man, what else can I mean?
Listen, you could burn some candles if you into that, or you got some sage you want to burn, releasing that energy, open your windows.
Yes, and I'll say this too: acknowledge the other person's perspectives and feelings. That gets missed a lot sometimes. Because it's so easy, we having conversation, you may say something and I may feel like it's a curveball. It could be a curveball, but you're saying that for a reason. So the chess move to that is then to ask why they feel like, before it's like getting defensive. Like that was my thing, getting defensive about the side remarks. Like that would be my Achilles heel. Side remarks. Like, oh God.
Me too, man. Them side remarks be throwing me off.
However, instead of reacting to the side remark, respond to it. You know what I'm saying? Respond. Okay, why do you feel like that? Why is that? You know what I'm saying? And
tell me more. Why did that come up for you?
Right, because then you put the person in the other position where they have to think now. They have to respond back to you. They can't no longer react. You know what I'm saying? They can, but if you keep responding, it's going to put them in a position where it's not a battle. It's just It's
just y'all there. And that's it. Sometimes it just has to be y'all there, and those walls have to come down, those defense mechanisms have to come down. And then also, as the other person, who's being triggered, what I've been learning is just like, why is this triggering me? Like asking myself, why is this making me feel this way? At a very just personal, introspective level. And that I think is a gate, a doorway for you to go deeper and be like, okay, why is this affecting me? Where does this come from? Where is this stemming from? And then personally, you could do that work yourself. So that can also help with laying the framework of communicating with your partner. So you're not getting defensive all the time. Now, if y'all don't have a good communication and
a confident trust,
a confident trust in each other, trust in yourself, like if it's just, I will say unhealthy, I'm not going to say toxic because everybody say toxic, I'm just going to say unhealthy. If y'all don't have a healthy way of communicating, then you might have to talk to your partner and be like, listen, this is triggering me, but also this is not a healthy way for you to communicate with me.
Facts.
So we're addressing it on, you know, your partner's end, but you're also addressing it internally of being like, why does that trigger?
Yeah, that's the one thing I had to learn quick, because I've been in relationships where I've been with a girl and she may do some shit my mom does, and whatever that may have been might be triggering. I'm like, yo, like all right, look here, I'm not gonna take offense this time. However, don't do that again, because like, man, that's triggering. You know.
And then you have to, you know, just be like, first of all, I don't like being told what to do.
Yeah. Okay. It's a way you got to do it. It's a way.
Exactly. You can't tell me, oh, don't do that no more because it's triggering. I'm like,
yeah.
Well, don't that sound like a personal problem? You telling me?
I mean, no, but I gotta. You have to say like, look here. Can you not do? Or I would prefer. You say like this. I would prefer if you could not do that. You just did because
and that's the important part, because if you don't follow up with a good ass reason, I'm just be like, so
it matters if it matters. Cause see,
not even you're right. It shouldn't be like a good reason, but why it matters.
Determine what is a good reason.
That's true.
I've been judged on what my reasons are. I'm like, that's my reason.
Yeah, that's it. Like that's how I feel.
I don't
know where it falls on the spectrum of good or bad, but that's how I feel. But you're right. That's an important distinction. It should just because it matters. So that could open up the conversation, you know, be like, okay, so, I didn't know, you know, that this affected you because of so-and-so. Right?
Yeah. And set goals. I've learned in conversations now to set goals, a plan in the conversation. If I come into something uncomfortable, I'm coming in with a goal to be reached.
Yeah. But you know, sometimes we don't know what that goal is, but it just might just be.
No, you got to come in there with a goal.
But the goal might just be self-expression. The goal might just be vulnerability.
That is not a safe place. You come in there with a goal. If I come in there with my shield or down, I say, I'm just coming with vulnerability. I'm just coming to be expressive. You will get sliced down, young man.
Why you got to get like that?
You would get slashed.
That's not necessarily true. I feel like that's based off, you know, your past experience.
That's based off hurt.
Yes, that's based off past experience, based off trauma, but not everyone is like that. I'm just saying.
No, not you're right. And I'm not generalizing. However, I am saying it's better to be prepared in life.
Okay, yeah, be prepared. Have a goal. Well, okay, give me an example. What will a goal be?
Yeah, like if I come into a conversation where I say, yo, you saying I'm not home enough. You know what I'm saying? You saying I'm working. Okay, I can't just come into and be like, yo, I'm tired of you telling me how I'm always working. Like, I got to get my bread too. Like, you can't just come into it like that. You're coming in defensive. You come into a battle. Yeah. And it's not a battle with your lover. Like, come into and say, hey, I know you've expressed some feelings about I'm not home and I've been working a lot. Look here, this is why. Like, showing her like, hey, this is why, because I'm trying to get this popping. I'm trying to do this right here, do this. Also, I want to see where some time we can fit in, where I can spend some more time, or what can I do to show up for that. And I think if like communicating it like that is a way you can just go through something. Because if you're coming off like, you gotta just understand what she's saying by that. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Like, I had to learn like, what is somebody really saying when they're saying? It's not they're trying to like manipulate you. It's just that they're feeling something missing that they would just want to feel with you. Like nobody else, just with you. So
just you. This is what I'm telling you, because I want to feel it with you. Exactly. And I feel that's very important. It's just like how we, as a couple or partnership, how we come together for an issue.
True.
And it's not like how, you know, being in relationships in the past, it's been like me over here, a dude over here, issue in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
So that's literally a battle. Instead of issue here, me and dude here. And so it's not like we're battling each other, but it's just like, here is the issue, and we're together trying to figure this thing out over here.
Facts.
And I feel like that's so strong, foundation wise for a partnership, because if you start off like boom, boom, boom all the time, and you don't know how to break that cycle, then it's just gonna be boom, boom, boom all the time.
Facts. Ping pong, man. When you trying to play ping pong?